Episode 14. Alright, I knew this one was going to be a good one just based off the way Dragon Ball DAIMA's schedule's been. It's like, usually you have an epic episode followed by a kind of, I don't want to say inconsequential, but mostly inconsequential episode followed by another epic episode. And, you know, like, that's been the streak for, like, the last few, like, 5 or 6 episodes or so. And this episode was good, and there were some things, some takeaways from this episode that I want to bring up, and let's start with them right now. So, in my review last week, I said how the plot changes, they could have implemented plot changes where Goma could have used the Giants and incorporated the Giants as a part of the bigger overall plot of the series by having Goma use the Giants to kill off Goku and the others, you know, in exchange for like food or something, right? So that Goku and the others wouldn't interfere with his plan, which is what they ended up doing with the Kenpei Tokusentai in this episode. So Goma, almost like Frieza on Namek, right? He gets these Super Sentai-like characters. They're Kenpei warriors, Super Sentai. And he has them pretty much do exactly what I suggested he did with the Giants from the previous episode, only they just work for him, right? So you could have, to further emphasize his need for these guys, it would have like made a more of an impact if you used the Giants from the previous episode and they failed, and then like I said last week, he turns off the warps in this episode and they failed, and then he calls on the I was about to say the Ginyu Tokusentai, the Kenpei Tokusentai. Or what you could have done is have him use the bring out the the Kenpei Tokusentai, have him go after Goku and them, and then be like, all right, let's turn off the warps, and then obviously the tunnels would have broken, which is a good segue actually, because that's what happens in this episode. So Neba uses his power to break the shields that restrict travel from the second, third, and first demon worlds. And so this is interesting because he uses that little incantation that I originally had believed was supposed to be that Paparito Dotorusi, that one. I thought that was the summoning the dragon. It could still be, but I doubt it. They might have something else. It might just be Shenlong, but I thought that's what it was. But no, that was his incantation to break away the light shields for the demon worlds. And I covered this in the breakdown video, and the cards for that video, like the first video I made on this and last week's episodes on this, or videos that I posted on this, will be in the cards, so you can check those out as well. But yeah, so that's what he does before Goku gets electrocuted again. And it was very interesting. So, I mean, they established that you like these light barriers could electrocute you, and they showed it with Goku and his Nyoibo, where he stuck the Nyoibo. He tried to like break it through the light tunnel, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I actually didn't think about that till now. And he gets electrocuted, and so that was funny. This episode in general, like, this was, I guess you're gonna keep hearing this, but this by far, this is one of the most Dragon Ball episodes of Daima that you could get. There's action, there's comedy. It's like comedy all over the place with the Tokusentai, right? So they go in the shop, they go in this market. And remember when last week I said there wasn't Ku or Do? Well, this episode, they had Majin Ku and Majin Do. They were in the supermarket, and Hylia, he was like, it was, I believe, Mashim, number 4. He goes to pay for all the snacks because they were trying to buy Majin Ku and Majin Do stacks. And I like how they actually made them out to be friends because they're both goofy, like both sides are goofy. So, I kind of like that they didn't turn on each other, which might play into something later on. They might actually team up later on. So that, this could be foreshadowing to something as well. But I like how they were teammate, they said, all right, we'll just pay for these kids as snacks. But they were broke. So they said, all right, just let's leave all those snacks over there. Y'all kids don't need candy anyway. And so they just gave Ku and Do the chocolate bars, 2 chocolate bars, 1 each. And so that was funny. There was a lot of stuff. Obviously, their introduction was funny. Everything they did was hilarious. And what's it called? Arinsu. So everyone, once the portal had opened, once Neba had opened up the portals, were like, do you feel that wind? Like it felt like something big was happening. Like it feels like something insane is about to go down. And I like that feeling. I said like a lot, but I love that feeling of, like it's the calm before the storm, like as they're falling into the bottomless pit, seemingly, of the first demon world. And everyone's like, do you feel that wind? Until they look up and they're like, oh shoot. And they see Goku and the others and they're like, all right, let's start an all-out attack. So the end is near. Armageddon is coming and Dragon Ball Daima's heating up fast. No pun intended, because it was hot in the little tunnel thing. But yeah, it's heating up fast and Goma's like, nah, I'm getting them gone right now. So Goma's going after his ops immediately. This is probably the smartest thing he's done this whole series. I mean, he hasn't looked like an idiot. Of course, he's a goofy villain, but he hasn't looked like an idiot throughout this series. He's looked a bit incompetent, but not stupid. Like there's a difference. He's looked incompetent in some of his plans, like as far as doing stuff a bit late. Thinking of, hey, let's turn off the warps. He probably should have done that when they're in the third demon realm, but at least he thought of it. Certain things he thought of. So I like that he hasn't looked stupid. Incompetent to a degree, yes, but stupid, you got to keep that out, because in the Cell arc, the characters were being idiots to progress the story, and I like that almost no one in this show is being stupid to progress the story. Yeah, like I said, I mean, this episode accomplished what last week's episode was incapable of doing. They introduced, look at how much stuff happened in this episode. They introduced new antagonists and have those antagonists interact with Majin Buu and Majin Buu. The gang broke down the barrier and got to the first demon realm. Then they were spotted and attacked. Last week, I mean, it was fun, like I said. And I'm not hating on Daima. You understand? I'm being objective in these reviews. That's why you don't see me bashing it. I'm critiquing it fairly. Like literally, if you watch these reviews, I critique it fairly, episode by episode. Now, obviously, when the series is over, it's going to be a better overall critique of the show. But those are the critiques of the individual episodes, and I have reasons for my critiques. I don't just crash out in an episode and then not offer why it can get better. I offered reasons as to why it could get better, and I actually had you guys vote in the short. Just looking at episode 15's preview, you can tell it's going to be, well, obviously the continuation of the all-out war with, the heroes and the demons. But also, there's a scene with Dabra and the key. Like, it's almost like he's giving him the key to the third eye. Like, maybe it's Dabra giving Goma or somebody, or Arinsu, somebody, the key to maybe the third eye, because that's what the episode's titled Third Eye. So I believe it's a flashback of Dabra giving someone the key to a box to open the third eye. Something of that nature. Something revolving around the third eye. So those are my predictions for episode 15. Let me know what y'all predictions for episode 15 were in the comments. And was this your favorite episode of Dragon Ball Daima? But yeah, that's the review for Daima episode 14. Check out the breakdown Easter eggs video and my other videos. I also had to delete the episode previews because they got copyright stricken. So yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one.